Beginning tonight, each week, Eyewitness Sports will salute the top 7 high school football players in Western New York. Let's look at our first group of great gritters. Number 7 is Darrell Cosett of Niagara Wheatfield, caught 3 passes for 114 yards and then played quarterback in the second half on the big win over Star Point. Number 6, Ed Wesolowski of Iroquois, 10 unassisted tackles in the Chiefs' 27-7 win over East Aurora. Number 5, Smith Morris of Canisius, the running back coming off a broken hand, had a big day, 175 yards in the win over Niagara Catholic. Number 4, Tony Baker of Springville, a two-way tear, 3 touchdowns on offense, 10 unassisted tackles. Springville beat Alden 35-6. Number 3, Ron Wolfley of Frontier. Yep, that's his brother who plays for the Steelers. This one had 200 yards and 18 carries in the win over Lackawanna. Number 2, another famous name, Ron Pitts of Orchard Park. His dad's a coach for the Bills. He's had several 100-yard games. And number 1, the player of the week, John Kowalczyk of St. Mary's of Lancaster. He did everything but sell popcorn in the big win over St. Francis on Saturday. With those startling stats, it would be easy to call John a big fish in a small pond. But that stuff doesn't hold water with him. Kowalczyk got most of the credit for last week's win, but he says it was a total team effort.
Our offensive line, I didn't get one quarterback sack the whole game. Nobody was in on me. And our running game early in the game was established, so I wasn't pressured to throw the ball, and when I was, I just got it there.
Even though Lancers coach Mike Bottomley calls him a throwing quarterback, Kowalczyk gets more than passing grades in his report card. In fact, he's an honor student. One more reason why John Kowalczyk's in a class by himself, and why John Kowalczyk is our first number 1 of the Super 7. And remember, complete high school sports scores this weekend right here on Channel 7.
Arena. 16 years of Super 7s, and that means thousands of athletes have been honored. And 16 years ago, there was one, the first ever Super 7 Athlete of the Week. Bob McEwen has his story in today's installment of Super 7, 16 Years of Excellence.
Do you guys know who the first ever Super 7 Athlete of the Week was?
No, who?
It was Dad.
No way!
Come on, I'll show you.
Number 1, the player of the week, John Kowalczyk of St. Mary's of Lancaster. He did everything but sell popcorn in the big win over St. Francis on Saturday.
16 years ago, John Kowalczyk had a big day for the St. Mary's of Lancaster football team. Against St. Francis, he tossed 3 TD passes and ran for another to help his team snap a 12-game losing streak and beat St. Francis for the first time in 10 years.
Oh, it was one of the greatest thrills of my life when they told me that, that I received the award. Seeing all these good athletes coming on, and then you're number 1 when Clipper's saying he did everything but sell popcorn, and then I looked at my mom and my dad, and you know, they had a little tear in their eye, and I'll never forget that feeling that night.
I remember saying that, and afterwards, somebody called up and said, hey, John Kowalczyk is the kind of kid at St. Mary's of Lancaster. He said, if we asked him to sell popcorn at the bingo games, he would too.
I think the biggest kick that I get out of the whole Super 7 thing is that my children are reliving the way I felt some 17 years ago. That's what gives me a thrill, for my kids and for my family and my wife to be part of that feeling.
Over the past 16 years, the Super 7 has got bigger and better and become a tradition here in Western New York. So we thought John's trophy should get a little bigger and better. So we presented him with a brand new Super 7 Athlete of the Week trophy. John Kowalczyk of St. Mary's of Lancaster, the very first ever Super 7 Athlete of the Week. Bob McEwen, Eyewitness Sports.
And tomorrow, Bob takes a look at some of the former Super 7 athletes who've gone on to star in professional sports. And there are quite a few of them, believe it or not.
Okay, thanks a lot, Murph. Yep. Up next on Eyewitness News at 6, making